Tony. Oh, should we let this ASMR stuff just feel up the feed?
I like that I finally figured out what that means.
Yeah. I still don't even know if I know what it means.
No, you
But it was
explained it
funny.
last week, and then all I remember is we started laughing because it said something about head and then like tingly feelings. And then we just went and
We
did
just went off.
we did our normal thing with that.
Yeah, we took it to places unknown. How are you doing, bud?
Those parts unknown. I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
How about you? How's your week been?
I'm doing good. Worked the Minnesota Wild game last night.
Nice.
Recorded a Minnesota Tim podcast while I was working the game after they had a little trade piece coming over. So I put the people in my headphones, I turned down the audio, and I just recorded straight into my computer.
That's the true Minnesota Tim grind.
That's the experience right there.
On the company dime.
That's right. That's right. There's nobody that knows how to spend the company dollar like me.
Only will Minnesota Tim admit that he wasn't working while he was working and put it out to the world.
That's right. I was working while I was working. If you watch the episode, I stop because the Pittsburgh Penguins scored a goal on the Minnesota Wild. And I said, oh, the Penguins just scored 1-0. I got to go back to work. So, there's ups and downs. There's flows.
Yeah.
So
you're just freely putting that out to your employers.
But here's the difference. Last night, I did not use the company equipment.
That's a big step for you.
It's a big step.
You have a tendency of using company buildings and just bringing random homeless people off from the street to record.
Is there something wrong with that?
You're like, what's up? What's up?
What's going on here?
Big deal.
Joke time over sports?
Oh, the good old DC days for
Man.
no one.
Davis actually sent me a text the other day when I recorded using the company equipment last week at the Minnesota Wild XL Energy Center. Well, there you go. There's a sponsors drop, so they should feel good about themselves now. Davis said, this reminds me of the Washington, D.C. Sirius XM days. So, made up for it.
Good old times.
Yeah. So, did you see the Dwayne Wade statue?
I did.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on it?
A couple thoughts. Obviously terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen a statue with like the fingers pointing like that. Like the face was obviously like that did not look. I mean, that kind of looks like D Wade, but it's just a weird. Like the teeth are very.
There's a separation between the two front teeth.
Yeah, the teeth are very defined. Like the definition is very good.
Looks like he's pooping.
Yeah, it's a good statue in that regard. Like I get what they were trying to go for.
Mm-hmm.
But I just saw the picture on the side there.
Yeah, it's funny. Isn't that good?
But I don't get if you have a picture of the full statue. His fingers just look super weird in the statue.
Oh, here we go. Here's a little video of it.
That.
Let's see. Oh yeah. It'd been funny if they used the middle finger for it.
Yeah, just. I know that's like an iconic. Look at him. He's just like, oh my.
Yeah. Apparently, he knew what it was going to look like. Like he was involved in the process of making this thing.
I wonder if he saw it beforehand then.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
He did?
Yeah, it wasn't a surprise to him on what it looked like afterwards. So, I don't know what's more dumb or who's more dumb. Dwayne Wade for allowing a statue to look like that. Isn't it funny how, you think about these jobs and you think about, oh man, in order to get this job, you must be so good at what you do, right? Like if there's a jersey or something that gets released and the last name's spelled wrong. It's like, how does that make it through the processes of being okay? You know what I mean?
I do, yeah. I feel like with some of the stuff, it's just we want to rush this out as fast as you can to try to make as much money as you can. So, and then, I mean, half the time it's like, no publicity is bad publicity. You know what I mean? So even if something like the name on a jersey is spelled wrong or the statue or whatever, we're talking about D Wade. We're talking about the Miami Heat.
Right.
I don't know. There's kind of that old adage.
Yeah, that's for sure. But it's funny because I just keep on coming back to the thought of like, okay, how did this person get this job? And I've realized that, of course, there's people that are right for the job and whatever. But most jobs that people get are just because they're connected to someone. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're right for the job, right? So you think about this podcast job that you have right here, joining Minnesota Tim podcast on a weekly basis.
Is it a job? What do you,
Is it a job? Are you going to put this on your resume?
you been holding out on pay?
Well, I'm working on it. Just got monetized, bud. There might be you might want to check your Venmo after this recording.
Shoot a little fruits of my labor my way.
That's right. I don't want to be. I probably should send you over a W-2 form to fill this out.
Get our taxes filed right.
That's right.
99.
I don't want the government IRA coming after your butt because you didn't put $2.50 on your taxes from the Minnesota Tim podcast.
Oh, government's got to get theirs.
That's right. But there have been some hilarious memes from this Dwayne Wade statue that have been coming out here. So here's Dwayne Wade, and then here's Rocky Balboa's trainer.
Throw in the damn towel.
Yeah, exactly. Throw the dang towel. And then my favorite one, I think, is this one right here, the Power Rangers. And then there's Dwayne Wade.
That's perfect.
Yeah. I love that one right there. That was good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Zordon. You a Power Rangers kid?
Oh, definitely. I thought it was so cool in high school. I changed my phone ringtone to the Power Rangers theme. Yeah. Did you think the pink Power Ranger was hot?
Of course.
Yeah.
That was like everyone our age's first crush. Let me see if I can do a little test here.
Let's see. Should I pull her up? Pink. I don't want. Oh. Oh, whoa.
When
Pink Power Ranger.
The timer that I have set on my phone.
It's Power Rangers.
Yeah, is the communicator beeper.
Oh, okay.
I had it set as my text message thing for a little bit.
Try to contain yourselves, everybody that's watching this on YouTube, especially you, Tony. Pink Power Ranger.
Amy Jo.
Is that her name?
Yeah, I think Amy Jo Johnson. Kimberly.
Kimberly Hart. Yeah. Anyways, Pink Power Ranger, everyone's first crush back in the day. Hard to argue that. But Power Rangers, great show. But anyways, what else was I going? Where else? I don't remember where I was going with that.
How you feeling about the start of the NBA season? Your T-Wolves heading into the year.
Yeah, I feel decent. They lost the big game last night against the Mavericks. They were up by 10 in the third quarter, and the Mavericks went on like a 15-0 run. And then the Vikings went on their run, and then they came Vikings. Then the Timberwolves went on their run. And then
Darnold started running point.
Yeah, Darnold
late three.
Threw a pass to Justin Jefferson down the field, and Jefferson shot a fadeaway, and he high-stepped into the end zone. But Kyrie Irving was able to stiff-arm him away from catching up and winning that football game. So, unfortunately, the Timberwolves still lost, but they cut it within like 2 points at the end of the game and just weren't able to seal the deal. It's fun to watch Julius Randle. It seems like he's been a solid addition. Dante DiVincenzo hasn't been a whole lot yet, but it's only been 4 games. So got to give it time. Got to give it room to breathe a little bit. So that'll be fun to watch. What about your Orlando Magic? Did I see your guy Panchero
Paulo
go for like 50-something points the other night?
50, 13, and 9.
Look at you.
Yeah, they're 3-1, off to a good start.
Yeah.
Coming off of a solid year last year, made the playoffs, almost made the second round. So they're building some stuff.
Yeah.
In Orlando, which is good.
Good. That's good.
They've been bad for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you're familiar with, kind of the the pain and misery there. I always keep up with it, even when they're bad. It's I'm not.
You're a fan through and through
Yeah.
thick and thin.
I mean, I stick with all my teams, but I'm not a diehard like you, where especially in basketball, where I'm watching most of the games and whatnot. But I look every night to see when they're playing, follow follow it on the ESPN app and see what they did, read the recap and whatnot. But
Right.
yeah, they're
I'm-
built some stuff. They're a fun team. They're a young team too. So
Yeah, yeah. They're an up and comer, as they
Yeah.
like to say. They've been waiting in the wings and they're just waiting to sail.
Okay.
They're a fun team when they're good. You know, the Dwight Howard, Orlando Magic back in the late 2000s, like 2009. I think they made it to the NBA Finals. Was fun with Hito Turkoglu.
Hito Turkoglu, Rashard Lewis,
Oh, that's a fun run.
Martin Gortat,
Jameer Nelson is your guard, I think.
Jameer Nelson was running the point. Yeah.
It's funny how I can remember almost, or how we can remember almost the entire starting lineup from the Orlando Magic in 2009. But I think I would struggle to name the Los Angeles Lakers starting lineup right now. It's funny how your interest in sports like changes over the years. I remember back when I was like 13 years old and I would know the third string point guard on the Cleveland Cavaliers squad. And now I'm 33 years old and I'm like, who's their starting point guard? I have no idea.
Yeah, just priorities change. You're married, have kids, all that kind of stuff. You don't have time to just sit down and like, all right, I'm going to watch 3 games tonight.
Right.
And then I'm going to go study who the backup to the backup point guard is on the, some other team in a different conference, all that stuff.
One of my funniest things that you see sometimes online, and we do this too, is you start naming random backup quarterbacks in the NFL that have played, like Brady Quinn or I don't know, just some random guys. And that's always a fun little.
Thigpen.
Who's that?
Tyler Thigpen.
Tyler Thigpen. That's a good one. Chad Pennington.
was listening to Pardon My Take the other day, and they do the same exact thing. They just name random
So
guys.
funny.
It's so great. And one of the guys brought up like, oh yeah, this game back in 2013. I forget what year, but 2013. And the other co-host goes, who was the quarterback at the time? And he goes, oh, Brody. They listed off all 3 quarterbacks. And one of them was Brody Croyle. It was just like these just random names from the past. It was awesome.
It's funny how these guys are absolutely garbage in the NFL, but you take them into the backyard of anyone's yard and they're just like throwing dimes. It's funny. And I've gotten to the point where I've even thought, man, if this guy can play in the NFL, why can't I play in the NFL?
I could take a couple snaps.
I could take What are the odds that I could complete a pass in 10 attempts? A 5-yard pass.
Like I think you could complete a check down.
A check down? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they're playing a prevent defense. 12 men on the field. Free play.
Could you complete a pass? So you've got are you in shotgun or are you under center?
Well, we got to see what the defense is giving us. Got to set up the play action, get a couple of runs.
Oh, you're going Peyton. You're calling the play at the line.
Omaha. Got my hands underneath the crotch.
Pulling things out. 52's the mic. 52's the mic.
52's got a big boner. Watch out for that one.
He's blitzing.
Oh, what's
His erection's giving away the blitz.
He got too excited back there. What was he watching on his iPad in between?
His dick has the green dot on its helmet. And the play cuts off 15 seconds before. No.
The defensive coordinator, the volume, like the headset.
Yeah.
That we're seeing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I think I could complete a pass because here's the thing about me. Here's the thing about Minnesota. My anticipatory skills are very high.
Not a word. That is not a word. Anticipatory?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Go.
My anticipation skills are very good. Like I can anticipate what someone's going to do next. So if you can anticipate, I feel like you can be effective. And even in the car, like my greatest strength in the car is like anticipating when a car is going to move over into my lane so that I can anticipate either I need to slow down or I need to speed up.
You're a great student of the game when it comes to reading traffic.
Yeah, I am. I really am. Like last night, I was coming home from the Wild game. I saw this guy starting to veer over into the right lane. And I'm like, uh-oh. So I started veering myself. And then that guy went back to his left lane and I passed him.
You got Kevin Harlan in the background. Here comes Minnesota Tim. Oh, he reads that car.
With no regard for human life.
Beautiful dime. Drop in, be a buddy.
There he goes. He's making the pass. A score.
I think if you gave me 10 attempts in the NFL, I think I could complete a pass. 5 yards.
It's got to go past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. 10 attempts, 10%. I mean, Anthony Richardson doesn't have a much better completion percentage than that at 44%, but I think I could complete a pass. I mean, you look in the backyard and you see the dimes I'm throwing to my brother. It's the same thing practically, isn't it?
I mean, you got the stature of a quarterback.
6'3".
6'3", rocket arm.
That's right.
It's a good hypothetical. I would say no way.
No, not even out of 10. Not one pass out of 10.
I would say you're getting sacked on 5 of those plays. 3 of them are getting batted down, and the other 2 you're throwing it at that doesn't even make it to the line of scrimmage.
I think I could do it. I wish there was a social experiment where I could test it. I wish there was a way that the NFL would just give me an opportunity to see if I could throw 10 passes. Maybe the worst team in the NFL would love to do a social experiment, the Carolina Panthers. Maybe they would call me up and, let's see if this guy can complete 1 out of 10 passes.
Grassroots movement to get you on the field.
Right. That's my movement. Carolina Panthers, give me a ring. Your season's going nowhere. Bryce Young stinks. Andy Dalton's old. You just traded your best wide receiver.
Sell some tickets.
Yeah. That might actually be tough because the Carolina Panthers stink so bad that I might not be able to have a wide receiver on the team that can catch.
You put me on the best team with the best offensive line, the best receivers, the best running back. And you know what? Give me Tom Brady's arm, Lamar Jackson's legs. I think I could complete a 5-yard pass.
I think I could do it. Just got to watch out for that mic out there. Just got to watch out for that wiener. Did you see, speaking of wieners, you know how there's situations where 3 different people have a different last name and they stand up next to each other? And it looks like something funny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Iowa Hawkeyes did that.
Large Black Johnson. That's awesome.
Isn't that funny? I love it when people take this and have fun with it.
What's the other meme or the whatever that goes around is going around right now? Guys will just see this and say that rocks. See, hell yeah.
What? I don't get that one.
There's whenever there's something like that it's just like dudes will think is funny. People will quote it with, guys will just see this and say hell yeah. And it'll be like a car, a truck driving through a big old mud puddle. It's like, yeah.
It's true. You're not wrong. Awesome. I mean, you see stuff like that, and what other reaction can you have other than that?
The Eagles a few years ago had Chris Long was on their team, and so they had for a long time they had Fletcher Cox. So they would purposely stand next to each other to say Long Cox. Lane Johnson was on their team. He would do that as well.
People that are doing that kind of stuff are going places.
See, what I did is whenever they would do that and a picture of them would go viral, I would say, man, I would be the Eagles running back at the time. I would be his picture, and his name was Wendell Smallwood.
That's hilarious. Smallwood.
Are you texting during our interview?
No, I was just checking my YouTube notifications. Some people were commenting on a YouTube video.
Well, no, don't let me interrupt.
Okay, sounds good. Well, you're talking about your Smallwood, so I just thought it'd be an opportunity to. My phone was going off. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything.
I'm here whenever you're ready, bud.
Okay, sounds good.
Tag me in.
You know what's so cool is the theme music to there's some like really good hardcore.
Jeez. Speaking of cocks. You see that hardcore.
It's not even a conversation about that. It's a conversation about hold music. Like when a company puts you on hold. There's some really good hardcore hold music that you just really want to jam to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I wish I had it, but I don't have it here. But the Eagles, they won again and are 5-2, 3-game win streak.
Hey, did you ever hear hold music? Yeah, it would be great to play some right now.
It would.
I don't have any, but yeah, it would be great. There's some good ones. Okay. And the Eagles.
Is that not how you're supposed to transition from one point to another?
That was just the most random. You got to put that as a chapter. It'll be like 13 seconds as a chapter for the YouTube video.
AI does it for me.
Hold music.
AI Riverside.fm does the chapters for me, so I can't control it, bud.
AI.
Yeah.
There it is.
That one almost was a poop.
Whoops.
Yeah. That one's almost a short. So
Eagles
I'm
are
going to be
back.
struggling. But the Eagles are 5-2 and would have been, technically better than the Commanders, except for they completed a Hail Mary. And the Chicago Bears player wasn't paying attention. That's one of the funniest videos of the year. Nick Sirianni's not fired yet.
Not fired yet. I got a thought about the Vikings there it is. I got a thought about the Bears cornerback in that video.
Yeah.
I get the optics of it. I get why it's bad at snap. He's not paying attention. He turns around after 2 or 3 sets. Like Jaden Daniels is back there for 15 seconds before he throws the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He turns around. He sees it. He gets in position. Well, not in position. Apparently, he was supposed to be guarding.
He's supposed to be guarding the guy that caught it. That's the problem.
Did the 2 seconds where he wasn't paying attention to that cause him not to guard? Like, he was going in to try to swat that ball down either way.
He hit the ball, and it went right to the guy.
It bounced off of his hand and then right into Noah Brown's hand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think him jawing with fans at the beginning of a Hail Mary where the quarterback is running around for 15 seconds is that big of a deal.
Right.
He was still over in the play. Either way, I don't think he was going to be going to his proper assignment.
Yeah.
I think he was thinking, knock it down. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a fair thought. I never really thought about it that way because the optics are really bad is the problem with the whole thing.
Sure.
Right. I mean, he's not paying attention, and then he's the guy that bats the ball, and then it goes to the wide receiver. Like, this is the most unlucky break in the history of sports. Like, this looks like a Minnesota Tim moment. Like, it really does. I remember I had this thought yesterday. I remember when I went on a date with that girl back in D.C. who was from Manassas, and I really thought that it was, going to work out great. This girl's from Manassas. Things are already looking great. And then I walked through a cemetery to get to the date. Remember this?
It's a bad omen.
No, it was going great. And then I called her. I said, "Hey, you look nice." And I thought that was a good thing for me to say. And so the train was like a mile away. So that's why I had to walk through the cemetery, and I didn't want to drive out there. And after the date, she drops me off at the train. She didn't let me walk, which I was like, oh, that's nice of her. The date must have went well. Like, if the date didn't go well, you'd think she'd just like get out of there. But then here's the catch. You remember the catch at the end, bud?
Oh, do I remember the catch.
Do you remember the catch? What happened at the end?
She honked.
She honked. Exactly.
Little did you know it was a farewell honk.
It was a farewell. It was a bye-bye. Never see you again.
See you never.
Worked out in favor for me long term. But that's exactly what I feel like happened to the Bears guy. Like, he's like feeling himself. He thought it was going good. He thought they were going to win the game. He even got the farewell honk, but then never got a text message back the next day. Got screwed over.
What a sliding doors moment there. Like, you could have been Manassas Tim instead of Minnesota Tim.
Oh, that's crazy.
You could be talking about Jaden Daniels and the
It's
Hail
true.
Mary bomb. What would your headline? What would you capitalize for? Commanders
Manassas in my
complete.
mouth.
I forgot about that. Manassas Tim.
I think that'd be the podcast title. Manassas in my mouth.
No.
Wow. Whew. But yeah, the Eagles.
So the
5-2.
Eagles are back.
What's that?
So the Eagles are back.
So the Eagles are back. 3-game win streak. Nick Sirianni.
We're looking good. Like I said, yeah, we had the Browns. We struggled, but a win's a win. Crushed the Giants, but the Giants suck. The Bengals are not a great team, nor are they, I would say, a good team. But to
They have
dominate,
players.
yeah, but to dominate them like we did was good. All three phases of the game
Right.
was really good. Defense gave up a little more yards, points, at least in the first half, kind of locked it down there in the second half
Yeah.
than I would like to see. But yeah, overall, I think it's good. They're building something. I think the Eagles are a team where when you have the expectations on them, I think they let some of that get to them a bit. When they're kind of flying a little bit under the radar, when the Chiefs are 7-0, when everyone in the NFC North is, pretty good, and people are talking about them. People are talking about the Lions as the best team in the NFC, like duly so. When the Eagles can kind of fly a little bit under the radar, I think that's when they're at their most dangerous.
Yeah. They have the weapons. A.J. Brown, when he's healthy. Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley. They got the guy that killed somebody in a car while he was in college, and they drafted him. The defensive tackle.
Oh, Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter, he's a talented player. So you guys got talent everywhere on your roster.
We do have talent. I think at the beginning of the year they were hurt a lot. The game where they got smashed by the Bucks, they didn't have Brown, they didn't have Smith, they didn't have Lane Johnson either. So a lot of the stuff is they're kind of putting all this together and kind of coming together at the right time, even though it's midway through the season now.
Coming together at the right time.
So
Well, let me say one thing about the Vikings so I can make this podcast title Vikings friendly, and then people can listen 27 minutes in and still not have a Minnesota Vikings take. They lost against the Rams. Flacco starting against the Vikings on Sunday night, which gives the Colts a better chance to win.
You think?
I expected this. What's that?
You think
The better chance to win?
the Vikings a better chance to win against?
No, the
Flacco?
Colts gives the Colts a better chance to win. Yeah, I misspoke there. It gives the Colts a better chance to win with Flacco, so it gives the Vikings a tougher chance to win. The odds support that. Odds changed over to 5 points instead of a 7-point favorites. Anthony Richardson's garbage. He sucks, but cracks. But
A bad thing?
depends what kind of butt crack. Ooh, all of a sudden I really have to poop here, bud.
All right, we can call it.
Oh, wowzers. Whew. Gotta stand up here.
Stand up.
Okay, yeah, I better go poop here.
All right.
All right, bud. Well, it's a pleasure.
Enjoy it.
This Manassas is gonna come out of my butt.
Masses.
Have a great day,
Enjoyed it, bud.
Thank you.